help other people to see, how do you go from there to the CEO?
My best friend at the time, a bit of madness happened and went away for a little while. It was more getting pushed from my dad, who was a strict parent. I weren't allowed to stay out late growing up. I had to be in at like 9, 10 o'clock. And the thought of the company actually started by wanting to make like a shoebox, just a trendy shoebox. Someone who collects shoes, you can have nice shoe boxes in your room. There's nothing wrong with being working class and having a job and having a steady income.
Welcome to another episode of the Dr. Prince Show. And just for you, we have a very special guest, the one and only Tommy Mallet, CEO of Tommy Mallet Shoes.
Thanks for having me.
Trust me, I am so excited about this. From the time we spoke, we first, had a chat about this. I've been excited, and then obviously because of COVID and what's been going on, you were trying to find that time. So I've been thinking about this, like, when's Tommy coming on? So I'm excited, bruv, to have you.
You know what? It's been, 8 months?
Yeah.
And I've been building a house, and I literally finished it yesterday.
I've been watching, bro.
As soon as it finished, I come.
Beautiful, man.
I'm looking forward to it, mate. You're doing some big things.
Do you know what I love about you, Tommy? It's your energy, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, it's not regular. You don't always meet people that bring the energy. Do you know what I'm saying? Because everyone has ups and down days.
Of course.
And I'm not saying I've known you for a long length of time, but every time I have spoken to you, I feel your energy, King.
Yeah.
Where do you think that comes from, man?
Do you know what? It's one of them ones where you have you're up so high all the time, you do hit down.
Of course, man.
I hit down sometimes.
Yeah.
But not for long, because I've learned how to swerve, like going down and just having down days.
Yeah.
But majority of it is just, we're blessed, innit? It's like, where I'm doing things that I could never have dreamed that I was going to do before what I did. I knew I was going to do everything I've done. I made it happen. But every day I wake up, I'm blessed. I've got good people around me.
Yeah.
I've got a lovely family, lovely missus, friends around me who get to spend time with me all the time. I've got a business, I've got friends that work alongside me, and I feel like I'm winning. So I have to keep the same energy, because everything I've achieved, I've been like this. So I don't know anything different.
Yeah, I got you.
So I'm always like striving for more. So the energy's got to stay up high. And if it ain't, I have a little down day, go and do a bit of training, try not to see everyone, and I go straight back out. Because I want to lift people as well at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, when you're down and you're around people, it can bring others down and things like that.
Because I feel like this is you. This is who you are.
This is me.
I don't think it's because things are going well.
Yeah.
I don't think it's because, your business is thriving and, you got your missus. That adds to the energy. But to me, tell me if I'm wrong, bro, but I feel like this is who Tommy Mallet is.
This is me. But I just feel lucky, and I always have done. I'm gifted, so I can't not be like this. I wanna inspire, and I wanna be that guy that makes everyone smile when they walk in the room.
Yeah.
This is how I am, and everyone always asks me about it as well. It's like, how do you have the energy? I don't actually know. This is how I've always been.
Yeah, this is how you've been.
But I put it down to I have got a lot of blessings, and I'm in a really, really good position at the minute.
Okay.
So it does make it easier. Of course, I'm always happy and always moving forward because I've got good stuff going on.
Good. How much has mindset got to do with it? Why is your mind different, if I could even put it that way, because I know it's choices everyone makes. So why is your mind the way it is and other people's the way they are? Now, why do you think the way you think?
I feel like mindset rules everything, Everything comes from the mind. Manifesting things, having enough energy to get up in the morning, how to greet people, having patience, all comes from your mind. Your body's just there. Your mind's there, your mind and spirit. That's what I believe in.
Nice.
And for me, I feel like everything I've done in 28 years has been well thought of, and I've had to overthink to get there. So everything I've achieved come from up there. So I'll just think about everything. They say, how many thoughts do you have a day?
Yeah.
60,000 or something. I have 180.
plenty.
Easy, 180,000.
Got you.
And I'd like to think 120,000 positive. I try not to go in a negative state.
Yeah.
I try to keep high up all the time.
Yeah.
And when you're in that sort of headspace and you're getting up in the morning and you're training and you're eating good and you feel good, that's when you start seeing results. You start achieving things. You're not bothered what other people are doing. You're very much focused on yourself.
Yeah.
And that's what I like to do. I try to just keep my head like it all the time. Don't get me wrong, as I said, I have down days from it.
Of course, man.
But I've got a lot of faults. I don't really stop. I don't sleep much. I get up early and work.
Yeah.
My head's crazy. It don't stop moving.
So I'm just thinking, like, I know you've been on the journey.
The journey, like you've never seen.
Yeah, I know you've been on the journey. So, like, you're still young, bruv. Like, you know, give me some stuff that helps me and others to understand. By 28, this is phenomenal. By 28, you're the CEO, for me, of one of the most successful companies, and not just me. The other, you know, Forbes and all these top companies, they know about Tommy Mallet. And if the ratings come out, you'll be right up there because of the way how your business is moving.
Yeah.
How does somebody who comes from Islington, who's just round the ends, who's one of them man them, how does, you know, help other people to see? How do you go from there to the CEO?
Personally, I think getting there is the easiest part of it. It's easy, it's simple. I had the best time of my life getting there. Getting from zero to halfway from where I am now was the most fun I ever had in my life, because everything was just ready to get lost. I didn't care. It was just all about the journey. I didn't care about becoming rich. I didn't care about anything. All I cared about was being the best is what I do, yeah? And then also where I come from, the morals I got taught, seeing a lot of things as being young, seeing a lot of friends go down the wrong path, seeing a lot of family members go down the wrong path.
Let's talk about some of the journey then, bro.
Yeah?
Come on, let's talk about some of the journey.
I've always thought, like, growing up, I've obviously got learning difficulties. I can't read and write great. I went to school in Archway, and so where I went to school, you was either a footballer, or you went the other way, basically, yeah?
Yeah, criminal.
Whether people turned out that way or not, I don't know.
But those are the offers, because you're from an area where...
That's the area we come from. It's come from the city. And I'm not saying I come from a deprived background. I come from a good family, and I think I've been really successful. I come from a solid household. My mum and dad was still together.
Nice.
I had a father figure.
Good.
My dad worked really, really hard. But I see the stress that money could cause from a young age. And I see a lot of poverty around me as well. Whether I knew it or not them days, when I think back at it, I see a lot of poverty growing up.
Why? Is it split in that way? Like the estates
because one area can be £1 million houses.
Yeah.
The other area would be like a masonette, what I grew up in, and then some of the estates I grew up in could just
like
people
Cali
got nothing in it.
Yeah.
And I feel like watching that as a younger kid, I didn't know anything different. And then I went to a school in Archway, which a few influential people come out of, but some bad people obviously come out of.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've always been the guy that analyses things. And I've always been the guy that can't really read and write. I was never as good as my brother because he's got a master's degree and he's the cleverest person I've ever met.
Okay.
And I weren't that guy growing up. I weren't great at anything. The people I looked up to when I was a kid was the guys stealing mopeds and driving around the streets doing wheelies. I was obsessed with it. I loved it. I used to watch the boys on the mopeds, and if they drove past me, chasing my pedal bike, doing wheelies. I just loved that sort of thing. And I feel like my mum and dad see that in me from a young age, that I could have went down either road.
Yeah.
And my dad took the decision to move us to Essex. He didn't move us to like posh Essex. He moved us to a part in Essex in Romford.
Was it better than where you came from? Or was it just a different area, same old thing?
It's a different area. It's a bit different than Islington. It's not London, it's Essex. But
culture, different.
I think so. I had a bad time moving there because of the way I spoke and the way I held myself, because I moved schools. I moved schools.
Yeah.
So obviously the way I spoke from where I come from was very different to how Essex is. I had an accent.
No doubt.
I'm not going to say what people used to say it was, but I had that accent.
What was it?
No, I'm not going to say. I'm not going to say, but you know what it is. It's where I come from, and I'm proud of that.
Of course,
and I'm not changing my roots for anyone. Like,
That's right.
I've sat in meetings with billionaires,
Yeah.
CEOs of the biggest companies you could ever imagine. And I've never changed the way I am. I've never
That's
changed
right.
the way I spoke.
Yeah.
I've never changed the people I hang around with.
That's right.
You can see who I roll with. Yeah, and I've just always been the same. But when I moved to Essex, that's when the penny really dropped for me, because I sort of see the way that people acted from like a young age. I'd been to two different areas that are so different, and I just always wanted more. Always wanted more. And I failed everything in school, and obviously competing, I weren't competing because I only competed myself, but
How do you define failing?
lessons.
Yeah, define it.
How do I
Was it
define it?
results?
Results, yeah. And this is where the funny bit comes out to this, is because it was more getting pushed from my dad, who was a strict parent. I weren't allowed to stay out late growing up. I had to be in at like 9, 10 o'clock.
Wow, that's-
latest on a Friday night.
That's about 6 hours later than me.
My dad
Mine
didn't
was
want...
from as soon as he finished school, straight in.
But when I was in Islington,
Yeah.
obviously I weren't really allowed to roll around the roads. But when I moved to like Essex, more countryside, I was out on my bike. I come from a strict background, and my dad wanted the best of me.
Feel you.
But for me, I look at my dad's mindset different to mine. That mindset of that generation of going to school, getting grades, getting a mortgage, getting married, settling down,
Yep.
getting a pension,
Yep.
and then retiring, yeah?
That's right.
That's not for me.
Okay.
And I knew it weren't for me.
And that was from their generation.
I knew it weren't for me forever.
Okay.
It weren't going to be for me. I went to school in Essex. I sold cigarettes. I earned a fortune. Everyone knew about it. My head teacher knew about it. I got an award at my prom for most likely to be a millionaire.
Are you for real?
I was a cheeky chappie.
Come on.
But when I failed my GCSEs, that's when the penny dropped, because I remember my dad sat there.
Yeah.
And my dad's old school, and he said, "That's it. You ain't gonna have fuck all now. You had your chance and you fucked it." Sorry for my language.
And you don't have to apologise.
I got fire in my belly. I said to my dad, "Dad, listen, don't worry about me. I'll be a millionaire by the time you're 30. Yeah, all right, boy, whatever." All right, cool. Let me
Wanted to
crack
prove
on.
it to him.
Let me crack on. I feel like I had more to prove to myself than prove to anyone from my family.
Gotcha.
Like, it's my life, and as much as I want to make my parents proud, I wanted to make myself proud. And I was always the guy that got things wrong in school. I was always the guy that, I'm not going to play play that card when people laughed at me when I got my questions wrong. Okay. I was in bottom sets and I wouldn't answer a question because I would have got it wrong.
Okay.
I don't know my times table, for example, Prince, yeah?
So was that wait, was that more about being let down
No.
than it was about you?
No, I feel like I didn't want to learn growing up because I was interested in other things. Yeah, and we'll brush on that. And also being a bit dyslexic, getting my B's and D's the wrong way around, being a little bit embarrassed, and then thinking, "Do you know what, I ain't going to be able to do this, so I'll just do my own thing."
Okay, so you made up your mind.
I made up my mind from
just like
early.
you made up your mind that you're going to be a success.
Yeah,
you made
from
up your
early.
mind that you're not good at academics.
I'm not good at academics, but then the first few years was tough. From 16, I tried following my brother's footsteps and going into like architecture, had a job in Canary Wharf, and I had a really bad time of it.
Yeah.
And I've never spoken about it, but the guys I work with, they weren't a bit of me. They took the piss out the way I spoke. These are grown men, yeah? They said I was slow at things. They used to bang on their teacup, go and get me a cup of tea. All right, cool, mate, I'll go and make you a cup of tea, yeah. And from doing that, I realised I wasn't going to be able to do an office job. So then I started going down the wrong road. And then I see someone from my childhood who said, "What are you doing here? Like, what are you on, man? Come and work for me." So then I started doing labouring. And off the back of that, I enrolled into college myself and become a carpenter. And I tried all them different roads, and it was sort of my dad's words, "You're not going to be no one." And I was trying to do it, and it weren't going nowhere. And then, without going too far into it, my best friend at the time, a bit of madness happened and went away for a little while. And I went and see him, and I was doing nothing at the time. And I sort of had that bit of inspiration by looking at my friend, man, like looking at his eyes. And as I left the visit, I got a phone call from the Only Way is Essex. But for me, I still had a bit of ego about me. I was like, "I ain't doing that, I ain't even from Essex. Why am I going to do that? It's muggy, this and this."
How come they contacted you?
think it was because I made a bit of a stamp on the area because I was new round to like the old club scene in Latin, New Bar and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And
There was, you had a nightclub.
that was after.
Oh,
but
was
I
it?
was from being on the nightclub scene, I was about 18.
Okay.
So I've been spotted out and with certain people and I got invited to do it. I always thought it was muggy. My dad said to me, do it.
Yeah, because I was baffled about that. How'd you get into...
Yeah, no, it's mad.
Did they just randomly send out...
No, it's friendship groups. Like I had a cousin from Essex who was friend with someone. I ended up being around the same little firm for a little while, being seen about, and I just got the opportunity to do it. I said no twice to it. Third time I took it. My dad said, if you're gonna do it, make sure you go on there and you make something of yourself. Don't go on there and think you're gonna get things given to you because it's not our work. We're hard workers. You're gonna work. Still that same sort of old school mentality. And I went on there and it didn't work for me, to be totally honest with you. I didn't get nothing from it.
What was you thinking that you were going to
I thought I was going to go on there and I was going to be the next Joey Essex. I had style, I could dress, I had charisma. I thought I was going to go and be the next Joey Essex, but it weren't the way. I met a girl who I've been with 6 years now and fell in love.
After the show?
No, I met
During
Georgia
the show?
I went on the show, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
We've been together 6 years.
Because you guys kind of people really kind of
we
looked at
blossomed
you.
on the show. They caught it all on the show.
Yeah.
But the thing is from that and even going on the show, I thought I was going to be a millionaire in the next 2 years. I remember saying to people, I'm going to go be a millionaire off this show. Watch, I'm going to go on there, I'm going to have a madness on there, I'm going to do this and this. And it didn't work for me.
Because a lot of relationships don't really work on shows.
Nah, they don't because...
They kind of start and then fizzle out. Why did you two
Because there's
work?
a lot of club appearances and there's a lot of girls crying at you and all that.
Attention, you were getting a lot of attention.
I didn't really get that. I went on there and I don't think I was people's cups of tea to start with.
I hear you.
So I sort of was a bit more obsessed with Georgia than trying to do club appearances. And it got really hard for me because then I started looking at myself on a deeper level and this is what I'm getting to. It's the long way of me explaining it.
Yeah.
This is where I started interacting with myself when I thought, okay, been given an opportunity here, it's on a plate and I've still not got anything. What am I? Am I gonna be, I am a failure. Like, I'm not gonna have nothing. If I can be put on TV and I'm still not gonna get nothing, how is that even possible? I don't think I'm bad looking. I've got a bit of swagger. And I really started looking deep into myself for a long time. And then the penny dropped one day. I had a conversation with someone and they started talking to me about like law of attraction and all that stuff. And it all come off energy, Mark.
Mindset.
Someone
energy.
come up to me, I didn't know, and said, oh, your energy's mad. Please take this book.
And that's what I talk about.
Take this book because you need it more than me. You can turn this into a madness. Take this book. There's me thinking, bruv, I can't even read. I'll take the book. Took the book and I didn't open it, yeah? But I always had in the back of my head that this guy come and give me something. So I thought, I need to look at that. Anyway, it was The Secret. It's all on the law of attraction, yeah? So me not being able to read it took a long time. I ended up downloading it on my phone and listening to it and getting obsessed with it. And then off the back of that, I started learning about like manifesting things, like achieving things, thinking about things and them coming to me. And at the time, I was rock bottom. I had nothing and it weren't going anywhere quick. And then the thought of the company started. And the thought of the company actually started by wanting to make like a shoebox, just a trendy shoebox. Someone who collects shoes, you can have nice shoe boxes in your room. Because my shoe boxes in my house always used to fall sideways because I had so many, they used to go like that. So I had to like lean them up against things. And when I looked into it, it didn't work. And then Mallet come out. I wanted to make a shoe. I just wanted a one-off shoe for myself. And it ended up, everything just come into place.
Yeah, but how does a young man take an idea about wanting to make a shoe and actually have a shoe in his hand?
Because I weren't going to settle for anything less.
So what was the process of that?
I was
Like,
on a
break it
night
down
out.
so they can hear that.
I was on a night out with a guy who actually ended up winning Love Island, yeah? Nathan, his name was. And me and him worked together. He was like my apprentice, fuck knows how, because I wasn't good at any trade, yeah? But me and this guy used to sit in a dirty old loft on a building site, look at each other and go, how are we going to get off this? Like listening to music, watching Rick Ross videos, yeah? Just like looking at it, gassed. Anyway, when I went on the show, Nathan went on Love Island and ended up winning it. So Me and Nathan out one night, we've been close friends forever, and he's introduced me to a friend of his who lives in Turkey. And I just remember him saying on that night out, yeah, I do manufacturing, that's what I do. But I just didn't have Mallet in mind at that time. I didn't know what manufacturing was even. It was a few weeks later, I said, hey, Nate, remember that guy who we saw out the other day? He had a bit of class about him. Get him to text me, see if he can make me a one-off shoe. Because I'd worn a shoe the day before for a photo shoot, and I went to buy them, and they was like 700 quid. I never had the money. I thought, I want to make them for myself. So can you do it? Turns out he could make it, and he found me a factory.
Oh, that is
And
so
it happened,
powerful.
we met in Islington, in his offices. It turned out he had offices in Islington, like from the plot where we're from.
Where you're from.
And it was like, wow. And this guy taught me a lot. He's the same age as me, but he come from a business background, yeah? He's still my business partner to this day.
Yeah.
He taught me a lot, like, how to carry myself, because I didn't have them manners.
Okay.
And when I said, can you make me this one-off shoe? He said, yeah, no problem. Calm guy, man. He said, but let's talk terms. Put his pen down, his phone down. How do you want to do this? I said, well, bring me the stuff and we'll see. Turned up with these products, and that was it. As soon as I touched it, I knew it was there. I said, you ready to go to work with this or what? He said, let's go. All right, we need some money. How are we going to find it? Oh, I might be able to lend a bit of money, a teeny amount. I know, look, we can get a little warehouse, had a leaky roof. We can keep some stock in there. So we bought 100 pairs. That was my first investment.
Where was the trust element? Did you just naturally just say, let's
Listen,
do it without any like signing stuff, paperwork?
I didn't have no plan B at the time.
I hear you.
So you can go and you think worst case scenario, but if someone looks at you in the eye around the table and brings you the product, he can't sell that product without me, and I can't get that product without him. So if we're a partnership, how are we going to make this happen?
That's right.
It's been a success. And the whole mindset thing just kept on coming into play. I was getting let downs. I was getting no, it didn't work to start with. We had 100 pairs. We had sizing issues. That was all our money that we owed. We had to pay that money. And I remember sitting there just thinking, this needs to work. And if this don't work, I'm done.
What's the period of things just not going right and the way you thought they
Years.
was going to go? Really,
Years. I think 2 years, you know. I think the first year was a write-off. Why we're going to wear that prick from TOWIE's items. They're overpriced. And then second year, I had a stylist called Vivian, very, very, very close friend of mine, stylist for will.i.am.
Okay.
Will want some of your stuff. Will wore him on The Voice, wore him in the advert of him walking. And it didn't make it blow, but I had that little thing about him for my Instagram to say, look, will.i.am's wearing them.
Yeah.
And then we made this one shoe, yeah? We was earning nothing, mate. Like, nothing. The website, I could fabricate it and make it look like it's the best brand in the world because I'm a salesman. We weren't doing nothing. It was going to the office once a week to send out the week's orders, which is about 3 orders, yeah?
But on the outside, it looked
The
like...
outside looks like we've got a big thing, and that's how you have to make it look.
Yeah,
You have to
that's
back
it.
yourself, don't you?
That's right.
And then we done one shoe, which just a store come along called Choice, which was like my local store. Went in there. After a few months, top seller. Then we started opening store. Flannels, Sooties, Selfridges, Harrods, Harvey Nichols. And then we started going to the Netherlands, opening the biggest stores, 30 stores in the Netherlands. Next thing I got 180 stores. And that happened so quick that I didn't even get time to sit back and enjoy it. And I didn't look at none of it and think of it as a blessing at the time. It was, fuck this is what I'm gonna do. No one's going to get my way in. Now we're on.
So you had your foot down on
Don't
the
talk
pedal.
to me about anything else. Don't bother inviting me out. Don't talk no shit to me. This is what we're doing. And I won't stop until it gets there.
So we're just in work mode.
Work mode. Like, I'm talking flying to Turkey, flying from Turkey straight to China, coming home and seeing my girlfriend for 2 hours, sleeping, no sleep for 2 days, going everywhere, keeping the same energy everywhere I go, posting the pictures myself on Instagram. And I reckon it was like...
This is so important, man.
It's important because nothing was given here. Everything was on the line, and it still is from this day on. Why am I not, I always say this, why am I not just pulled up in a Bentley? Why am I not wearing jewellery? Like, yes, I've got a nice house that I've put everything into. Why am I remaining humble? Because you can lose it. I've seen people lose it. All it takes is another hungry fucker like me to come along, how I was 3-4 years ago. Anyone can have it. Well, I won't accept anyone to come and take it from me.
Well, you can.
Because I am going to places that no one's even imagined for me to take this.
When you say take it from me, what does that look like to you?
It's impossible. You ain't taking nothing off me.
But when you say it,
yeah,
what's conjured up in your head? Another business coming over and being bigger than Tommy Mallet?
Prince, think about it, yeah? Before I started this journey, there was someone who was #1 in my spot where I'm now. It's like boxing.
Yeah.
Someone's the champion, yeah?
Got you.
But why did the champion all of a sudden go out of fashion? Because he got old, yeah? Or he started slipping, or he got content,
enjoying his fame, enjoying his position.
I ain't doing none of that. I'm going to stay as hungry today as I was on the first day I started.
That's excellent.
Because I don't care if I'm in Harrods or Selfridges. As soon as I found out I was in Harrods and Selfridges, I wanted to get in Saks in New York. And how are we going to do that? Okay, let's go. 3 years it's taken me to do the America.
Is that how you stay hungry?
Starving. And that's why I'm not into the whole fame thing, going to events, listening to people's shit. I don't care. I'm not interested.
Brilliant.
If you're not doing something that makes sense in my world, you're doing something good for someone, or you're going out there and making moves and chasing dreams, I'm not listening to your shit. I'm not going to sit there in the kitchen all night with you talking shit until 5 o'clock in the morning. I've got to be in the gym in the morning at 6 o'clock. Yeah. And that's how it works. And I'm regimented, and if I don't, I hit the floor.
Boom.
I hit the floor.
Regimented. My life changed when I was doing routine. When I was getting up at 5, 6, going for my runs, coming back, eating, resting, going to the gym, finish swimming, finish cardio, just regimented.
Regimented, yeah.
That's the key, isn't it?
It's the key. And if I don't do it, I can feel like I ain't done it. And it makes me feel bad. It makes me feel like, listen, you can look at me and I want to portray it in two lights, yeah? Because there's nothing wrong with being working class and having a job and having a steady income and getting on with it.
That's right.
Because most of the time, you're going to be happier than I am.
Yeah.
Don't think because I've got money and I've got success that I'm happy. Because I have been at the lowest of the low. Yeah. And I'm looking around and I'm thinking to myself, I've got everything here that I want. Why am I still missing something? Because I'm chasing something. Imagine that. Imagine how tired I am. Imagine how tired I am. I'm not taking my eye off the ball. Like, my guy there, he comes everywhere with me. Majority of the time, we're talking business. Or we're doing something nuts. Like, yeah, we go and meet the boys in the manor and go on the bike rides. Yeah. And I need that round me to keep me sane, because my guy will come see me for an hour, we'll go for a bike ride, we'll go out, we'll chat shit for a few hours. But they all know when I get home,
and then you're back
I'm straight back on it.
See, I'm laughing because my missus is always saying, babe, I'm not talking business. I'm not talking business. It's late, the work hours are done. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I'm like that.
Because there's no such thing as work hours when it's your dream, innit?
Yeah.
You're living the dream.
That's right.
But what I've learned is there is a balance of how you have to do it, and you have to not just talk about yourself all the time. Yeah. You can't always talk about your dreams. Yeah. You're not always impressing people. Some people just want to have a chat about little things.
Yeah, because there's the other side.
There's other side to life, innit? Yeah. Like, it ain't all about success, man.
That's right.
Georgia don't care. I can give her a Chanel bag. She don't want it.
Does she bring that balance into your life?
Of course. Georgia just wants my time. She wants me to be happy. She don't want to see me down. She wants me to go gym. She don't want to date. She don't want to go to the West End and eat in expensive restaurants. She wants to go to McDonald's. She don't care. And that's brought me down, because I've not got that want girl around me who's going, oh, come, let's go to Monaco. What I do is I've got a suite in Mexico that I fly to twice a year. Yeah. I've got the same place that I sunbathe. I've got the same waiter that waits on me, I've got the same cross trainer in the gym. Yeah. Everything's the same. And I know what I'm doing. And I don't like change, because
like certainty.
If the food's cold, it pisses me off. If the service is a bit slow, I'll get agitated. Yeah. So if I find something I like, I'll just go and do it. And that's the only thing I'm content with in my life, is Georgia and my little holidays that we do together. Yeah. I'm not content with business. I'm not content with training. I'm not content with like the food I eat. I feel like I'm always letting myself down. So imagine what I'm battling every day to do this. So there's a balance. So when you're going to choose what sort of person you want to be, and you just think about it. Is your head ready for that constant torture of bettering yourself, that champion mindset? It looks easy, yeah? It's not. And if it was, everyone would be doing it. Yeah, and I resent a lot of people sometimes when I see people finish work on a Friday and turn their phone off. I resent them. I resent that person. You know that person that goes home and they're like...
just does his job,
can go out the weekend.
There you go.
I don't drink, yeah? I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do drugs, yeah? Don't do none of that. I ain't had a drink for 2 years. I ain't had a cigarette for a while and any of that other stuff.
Why is that?
Because I torture myself. Because why am I doing? It's against what I'm doing. Why? Why am I going and getting drunk? The next day, I can't look at myself.
Love it.
What have I done the night before? I don't want none of that
So
stuff.
you've set your standards and you're not competing with nobody.
No one.
You're always working on Tommy.
It's always me. And that's why I say, like, I'm not going to let no one take it away from me. Because if you can come and do what I've done and take it away from me, you must be a sick fucker.
I don't think they can though, Tommy.
Well, remain humble at all times.
I don't think they can.
I'm pretty sure that a kid with a dream like I had can go and achieve whatever they want.
You remind me of a jockey and a horse that's saying, you ain't going to beat me in this race, but when you look round, there's no other horses or jockeys. You're on your own, bruv.
Nah, do you know what? It all comes down to how I am. You got to remember that, yeah?
Trust me,
You got to remember that. It goes off my mindset.
Yeah.
It goes off if the product that I'm being sold.
Yeah.
It goes off how I'm being portrayed in the media. It can be. I've got to watch what I say.
Yeah.
I've got to watch what I do.
You learnt that though, didn't you?
100%, yeah.
That came along.
I've been dogged badly, yeah. Some bad things happened to me.
Talk about that
out of my
because
control.
we've got celebrities that have committed suicide.
Yep.
The other day I got a phone call to support a family because the little girl who's been bullied has committed suicide, and that's like an ongoing case. That's quite recent now. So these things are really painful. So I've always looked at it like people are demonstrating their reality and who they are when they're being nasty people to others. But how did you deal with that? Because I'm quite sure people will take a lot from what you're saying about how your outlook on other things.
On negativity
from
people.
all those people that are, the keyboard tweeting.
Do you know how I learned it?
Instagramming.
Do you know how I learned it? I remember Twitter, when I first started, was dark. When I first started the show, like some of the things people would say, I used to hate getting called fat. Yeah? And I remember 4 years ago, I said, yeah, I'm fat at the minute, but in 4 years, I'm going to have a six-pack, still ain't got that. I'll be successful, yeah? Yeah. And all of this is nothing. So that's your beef. Do what you got to do. The tweet was actually, yeah, you're looking, because I used to get called fat all the time. Yeah. You're looking at getting a six-pack and I'm looking to make the Forbes list. That was the tweet, yeah, and I found it the other day. That was the tweet.
Heavy.
That was the tweet. You're looking for the six-pack, I'm going to make the Forbes list.
Well, you're going to make the Forbes list,
But you know what it was to me, Prince? I remember saying to a friend of mine who was in the best shape we've ever seen, yeah? I'm, bruv, it's madness how you look. I'd love to look like you. And he went, I'd love to have as much dough as you. I thought to myself, right, I'm looking at something that he's got, and he's looking at something I've got, and we're both having this perception of each other, of happiness, and where are we going with this? And it become like a running joke. I just go, look at you, man, you must feel good in the morning. You go, what, feel good in the morning when I'm fucking worrying where I'm going to get the next tenner from? And that played a big part to me. And a lot of the time, when I used to get negativity, I used to react to it. And I used to reply to a lot of people.
Because it hurt, innit?
It hurt, yeah, because I felt like it did. But where are we going with this? Well, we're going to take it to the roads. So I DM you and say, and give it char. Yeah. And do you know what? I've done it a few times. And the responses was, oh, I didn't know you actually looked at your tweets. So what are you doing when you're writing to me? You're just showing off in front of people to try and look big and try and let me have it. Because instead of doing that, what you need to do is you need to go and find what's killing you inside to make you do that. And I ain't going to react to it because I don't want to be the guy that makes you feel shit. But I'm pretty sure I can. See the 90% of the people who've got a negative opinion on me.
Yeah.
If they was doing the most, they wouldn't be worrying about what I was doing, because I'm not worried about anyone.
Yeah.
I'm worried about, I love seeing people do well.
There
It
you
makes
go.
me feel good.
right.
I love seeing people around me. I love putting people on.
Yeah.
Like, look at the face of my campaigns are. They're my boys. Like, the people who do my campaigns for Mallet are my people I grew up with, yeah?
Awesome.
And I want to spread the opportunity. I've not got time to look at things in a negative light. I just don't have that part of me.
Yes.
So I just learned it, man. And I just I just say, listen, I'll send a prayer for you, man. If you want to start sending me that shit, I'll send a prayer for you. But I wake up every morning and say thanks, and I go to bed every night and say thanks. So what have I got so bad to say? I've not been put here to send shit onto people. I'm here to assist people. And people don't know that side of me, don't feel.
Yeah.
People feel like, if you looked at me from the outside, you could feel like I'm just a standard business owner that's going out, greedy. You've got to be greedy at some extent to be a success. But on the other hand, I give back. I've done a lot of things I've never spoken about. I've given a lot of, before I even had it, I give money to places to help situations,
Right. Which you don't sing about and let people
Well, I don't
know
need
about.
to. There's a few things that have come out about Grenfell and a few cancer trusts that I've worked with, but that was just an experience for me at the same time. It's not a selfless act, because I felt good doing it.
Aye.
It made me feel good.
That's right.
Do you know what I mean?
That's what giving does.
It made me feel good. So I'm not doing it
awesome
like
experience.
it ain't a selfless act.
Yeah.
And I learned that.
Yeah.
For me to give back, I'm feeling something
Get
in my,
some
it's feeling something, you know what I'm
wonderful
saying?
feeling, isn't it?
So when I get that sort of stuff, and we spoke about this, didn't we?
Yeah,
About, you must have a lot of people on you.
Yeah.
I get so much more love than I do hate.
That's right. So it
So
depends
much
on what
more.
you focus on, Tommy.
And it's the love. Because I've been here before,
Yeah.
and I've had, no joke, 10,000 comments under a picture,
Yeah.
and promise ya, you'll spot the negative one out of 10,000.
There you go.
That's what
There
you
you
do.
go. But why do we have a nature where we focus on the one negative instead of the 10,000 positives?
Because I feel like you build a lot of negativity
Inside ourselves.
inside yourself.
And then
like,
that taps into it.
So them negative things, you're like, I'll show you. I'll show you. Like, you don't own your business. Why am I bothered if someone said that to me? Why do I feel like I have to show them documents? Who gives a fuck who owns my business? I own my business.
Yeah.
And I've done quite well for myself.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm an honest guy that's paid a lot of money in tax. And I've not dodged nothing. I've not cut no corners.
Yeah.
Why do I have to answer to some wally on social media at 10 o'clock at night who owns my business?
Exactly.
Who cares? Who cares?
Yeah.
And when you actually get that power of not caring what anyone thinks, dangerous.
You are unstoppable.
Unstoppable. Who's going to tell me that I can't go to open stores in America and Canada?
You become unstoppable when you
Unstoppable.
own your own power and you're not influenced by anyone else's.
Yeah, and you need to have that strong influence in
Yeah.
yourself, especially coming from where we come from.
Yeah.
Because it's so easy to be taken down the wrong road.
Yeah, it is.
It's easy to look at olders. It's easy. Listen, we know we've come from there.
That's right.
But people don't know that about me,
Yeah.
and I like that because people think, oh, what the fuck did you know?
Yeah,
It's
but
some
you
kid from
have.
the only Essex.
Yeah, but
I
you
don't
have
need to
though.
shout and sing about it, but I learned a lot from it.
And you know the streets.
And I don't know it inside out, but I feel like
But you know the people on the streets, bro. That's all.
I got the experience from
Yeah.
it, and the people that have, even the worst of the worst people who I've come across in my life, they've still not been negative to me. Well done. I wish I went down the route that you're on.
Yeah.
I wish that I was doing something straight how you are and building something up yourself. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, brother.
So why am I bothered about what anyone else thinks?
Yeah, it's a powerful place to be.
So powerful.
So that means that the people that are affected by it aren't at peace with themselves.
They're not at peace with themselves. No, and I pray.
And this is not me throwing
No,
stones
it's
at them.
truth.
And that.
It's the truth.
I'm just
No,
keeping it real.
Prince, listen, you have to give it to him raw.
Yeah.
You have to, yeah? I'm at peace. I pray every day.
Yeah, bro,
Yeah?
same, man.
Every single day I pray.
single day,
And
bro.
I'm thankful for everything.
Yeah, gratitude.
Gratitude,
Powerful
non-stop,
word.
yeah?
Yeah, bro.
Gratitude.
Yeah.
And I just look at other people and I don't really take into consideration, like, their shit that they're bringing me. If you're bringing me positivity,
I'll take that.
let's take it.
Yeah.
And I'll help you build yourself. If you come to me with negative, I can feel it when you're outside, mate. Don't even come to me with it.
Yeah.
Because I've come across enough people like it. And I've learned it. and I've learnt a trade. I've got my very, very spiritual person. I always have been.
Yeah.
And I feel auras on people. And if you're a good person, I can feel it.
Yeah.
If you're a wrong one, I can feel it.
Feel it.
Listen,
That's
I know
it.
people are bad,
Yeah.
but they're good people at the same time. Yeah? And that's when you know you're a good judge of character.
yeah.
Because I know people are doing madnesses. Not now, I don't know more, because I've got a family life and I don't really get involved with anyone. I don't ask anyone's business. And I don't really go out that much, to be fair, Prince. I like doing my own thing at home.
Yeah.
I've got one restaurant that I like going to. I've got my same table there.
I'm very similar, man.
I like doing that.
Yeah.
But I've learnt I can talk to people at the worst of the worst sometimes, yeah? And I can see good in them.
That's it.
I've seen people who have got really bad backgrounds, yeah? Do the nicest things for people that I've ever seen, yeah?
That's it.
And when I've sat down and spoken to them about it, it all comes back to their childhood and things that have happened to them in the past. And some people didn't choose the path they're on, innit?
That's it.
So
I think we all choose, but I think it's based on what's happened and we have no real understanding of that. That's the driving force that's led you down that road.
Exactly.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. So I'm not the guy that's going to start arguing with people and saying I've got haters. I ain't got haters. I've got a few ill people around me that need to find themselves. Do you know what I'm saying?
I love the way you reframe that.
That's what it is.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
I'm a big advocate of reframing the story.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it affects you differently.
Of course it does. Of course it does. You don't know what someone's going through, man. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm going in deeply of the way I judge things.
Yeah.
And it means everything to me of where I've come from and the stuff I've experienced and the people I've had around me, because I've been taught that way. And that's why I think I am where I am.
Wow, that's beautiful, man.
And
I think people hate on you as well, not you specifically, but just people that have their own opinion, don't follow the crowd, do what they need to do, work hard as they need to get what they want in life. I think that just draws the people that aren't happy, that are sheep,
Of course it does.
that haven't been able to do that in their life and want you to be like them. Here's the general consensus. Go with it. Oh, you're not going with it? Well, then they'll put you in a box. You're this, you're that. You know, some people go as far as being nasty and calling your names and swearing after you.
Keep sending them.
I tell you, bro.
It don't affect me, man.
That's
it don't
an
affect me
excellent
because
attitude.
it don't affect me at all. Because I'm happy with where I am.
Yeah.
And I've done a lot to get here, and I don't owe anything for no one. I'm
Yeah,
self-made. I don't owe anyone dough. I've not took any dough off anyone. Everything I've got is myself. I'm nice to my mum and dad.
Nice.
Dad works for me.
That's beautiful,
My dad
man.
works for me. My mum's my
bro.
mum's a
Imagine
nutter.
that.
My mum's the best, but
Yeah.
my family are happy. Like,
heavy,
what
man.
else? What else am I chasing?
Yeah.
What am I chasing now, Prince?
I tell you what, most people are really chasing to feel loved and to be loved.
Of course.
And I think you're so blessed because you are a man that's very secure within your loving relationship.
Definitely.
So first thing I'd love to ask is just about that whole concept of love. A lot of us men struggling with that. Bro, we're struggling. We think that being the man is having pussy over there, some over there. Do you know what I'm saying? We think being a man is that guy that's just all the girls want us and we can tell our friends. Do you know what I'm saying, bro?
Boring.
But really inside,
Yeah.
we really want to be loved and appreciated.
You know what? It all comes down to the same thing as taking experiences off of people. I always grew up with older people.
Okay.
I was always that guy for the younger guy around the olders,
Yeah.
Like girls or whatever it was. Not saying I was like a player, but I was game when I was younger, yeah.
And girls liked you.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that I was like on a madness or nothing, because Georgia would watch it and smash my head in, I weren't. But for me, I just remember seeing like a lot of the olders growing up, and watching them at a time thinking, oh, that geezer's having it off, he's got dough, he's got a cast, he's got pure birds around him, he's on holiday. And then I'd see the normal guy that had a missus, had some kids, would always be the first one to slip off from the party, always go home, not going to get out his nut because he had work in the morning.
Yeah, I see.
And you'd think the guy there with all the birds and the money is the one living, yeah? But, and this is a big but, I had a lot of experiences, yeah, with some guys that are big players, yeah, growing up. And a lot of late nights abroad in Marbella and stuff, and just chatting, you know how it goes, isn't it? And the man of them would just look at you and say, you think I'm having off, I want what he's got over there.
Big.
I want what he's got. And it always sat with me, like, that's true, innit? What more are you on earth for than to find someone that you're meant to be with, yeah? And just live with and have the best life ever. And I see it young, because I see a lot of old men that got washed up from that. A lot of men, man. Like, I'm talking about guys that had like big dough, man. I used to look at them and think, But they had big dough because they didn't have a missus to go and spend it on. They never had kids and things like that. That was all their money. They were just going out on Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night. Didn't want to talk to anyone, locked themselves in a room because they'd been out all weekend. Yeah. And I always took that into account. And the thing with Georgia is like, I got with Georgia and it just clicked like that. And there weren't no thinking to go with it. I ended up meeting her. And the mad thing is with Georgia is, like, her dad's house was the biggest house I'd ever been in at the time. I'd never seen anything like it personally. Had an indoor swimming pool, marble staircase, cinema. And when I met Georgia, I was like a bit embarrassed at the time to like take her to where like my house. Because I just lived like in a terraced house, which was nice. Yeah. It was a normal middle class house. No doubt. And obviously like just a normal grown up thing, innit? I had my wardrobe in my room, didn't have the biggest room, painted blue and all that. And I went to her house, I was like, rah, she's got a hot tap. She ain't got a kettle, she's got a hot tap. You just press a button, yeah, in the sink, and I've got one now, it's sick, yeah? And it fills your coffee up or tea, yeah? And I remember walking into her house thinking, rah. And I had a green smart car at the time, and I had it green because it was cheap, and I got it cheap. And I remember with Georgia, I took her to meet mum and dad, and she sat in the settee, and she just like clicked mum and dad like that. She moved in with me from that day onwards, from the day I met her. I didn't leave her, man. And she moved out of mum and dad's house and come and lived with me in my mum and dad's house.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, man.
Serious, bro?
Yeah, I didn't like staying there. I felt like the house was too big, and I felt a target staying like in a big, massive mansion like that. And I was a bit scared being there, so I didn't like staying there. Georgia come and live with me and my mum, and I was like, without throwing shade on where I come from, because it was my choice, because I'd done my room up. I didn't have a radiator in my bedroom. Yeah. So in the winter, there's blitz in there. I had a tracksuit on. Georgia moved out of a house which was huge to come there.
Into your blitz room with the no
yeah,
radiator. And
like that was the first sign of like proper, like someone proper just loving what I am, innit?
Wow.
Know what I mean?
That's
and then
heavy.
I sort of took on that from a house, like I took on values from my family and I looked at her house.
She is like finding treasure, mate.
I've never seen anything like that. She didn't care about nothing that I could give her, innit? It didn't matter to her. She paid for my flight to go to Thailand because I never had no money, yeah?
Come on.
And she said to me one night, oh, I'm going to Thailand for New Year's with my family. I said, and I'm going on Christmas Eve. I said, I'll never leave my mum on Christmas. Yeah. Me and my brother will never leave my mum on Christmas. Okay. Yeah? We like how we have it. Okay. We eat Christmas dinner on our laps, yeah? We ain't got a dinner table, we eat on our laps, and I love that. So I'm never going to leave that. She said, we're going to Thailand, I want you to come. And I didn't want to say I didn't have the money to go, did I? Because I've just got with her, and she said, yeah, and I've sorted some photos out there, so you don't have to pay for your flight. And I was like, wow, I've never been to Thailand. I've never been on a flight for longer than 3 hours, yeah? I'm scared of flying. I was like,
really?
raw. All right, cool. I took everything I had out there, and I had the best holiday ever. And I just kept on learning from that. And I feel like everything I do is just come from there. And Georgia's taught me a lot, man. Because I thought, look, the next stage of my life was to live in a mansion and be rich and have everything. And then I see her that sort of, mum and dad, Georgia had a lovely house, but she weren't spoiled. And I thought that was strange when I see it.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
I thought it was weird. I was like, your dad's got this house and she get pocket money and all that. She's like, nah. And her brother was really like quiet and humble and her sister and all that. And I was like,
That's a quality
Does your dad not give
mum
you all
and
dough
dad.
and that? And they were like, no, we ain't, what we bothered about? Like, we get fed and all that, we don't need
Yeah,
no
I've got
dough.
everything I need.
And that's what I learnt from that, and it just blossomed from there. And
That's
I sort
beautiful,
it helped me
man.
on the journey, Prince, because I remember
Yeah.
sitting there with Georgia, and I actually done it on a scene in TOWIE when I got blessed with a nightclub from a few elders,
Yeah.
and that's the story behind it. I didn't buy the nightclub. Everyone thinks I bought it. I didn't.
Okay.
The elders went, here, T, take some shares. That's yours, yeah? Get the gaff rocking, and let's get some dough in together. And I remember one night in there, we done like a dinner in there, and I said to Georgia was like, you're working too much. Me and you ain't gonna last. And I went, well, I want to give you what your dad's give you, and I don't want to rely on anyone. I want to say, look, I want to be a success.
Yeah.
And she said, don't make mistakes that I've seen before. Go and spend your life chasing dough so you neglect other things, your family.
Bro, she is the
Do you know what I'm
best.
saying?
So there was a lot for you to learn on the journey.
I learned everything, yeah? And like, back to Georgia, I learned a lot from Georgia. I learned a lot of values from Georgia. I learned like, I didn't have to be the big I am. I didn't have to be the man. I didn't have to be violent. All I had to be, yeah, is the best version of me. That's all I needed.
So you were trying to live up to an expectation that she didn't even put on
She
you.
didn't even want it. So why am I going to try and be
And a lot of guys are doing that.
100%.
Trying to
Do you know how
live up
many
to an
guys? Do you know how many
expectation.
guys? Listen. Do you know how many guys I have seen go skint trying to look rich?
Yes, bro.
Yeah.
Getting
You know what I mean?
cars that they don't
getting
even
cars
own.
and getting this stupidness. I remember,
Yeah.
I bought an Audi R8. Yeah, I was 23. Madness from considering I didn't really have the petrol to put in it, but I thought I'm gonna get this. It's a madness. I leased it. Georgia got it once. She was like, "I'll get rid of that car, man. It's too flash." And then I thought to myself, I'm parking outside my mum and dad's residential street. Like, it stands out. I'm getting stopped by police every day in it. What the fuck? And I learned a lot of values, man.
Yeah, man.
And I always take what I've learned and use it in everyday life. And that's why people think I've got an old head on my shoulders. Because I've not taken much for granted. Every single thing I've done, I've taken. So I can sit in the room with a kid at 16 that is talking all the madness, can listen to that.
That's it.
I can sit there with someone intelligent like you, yeah, and inspirational, and I can have a civilised conversation with you. I can go next door and see the boys that we grew up with,
That's it.
the
We
man
are
them,
all-
yeah, and I can hold my old
a
sofa
good
in there,
time,
yeah,
yeah.
easy.
Yeah.
But then I can go and sit there easily with the CEO of whatever
it.
you want me to go and sit there in.
That's right.
I'll
So
go and
that's a
turn up.
skill that we need to learn on our journeys, isn't it? Of
course you do.
Because a lot of youths don't know how to communicate.
Nope.
You've imprisoned yourself by a postcode in one certain area in your estate.
Yeah.
And what you haven't been able to do because you've imprisoned yourself is learn how to engage with the world.
It's sad, you know, because, and I'm gonna say this, but obviously, you know, I take my hat off for everything you've been through, yeah, because I remembered it because it touched me at the time, yeah.
Wow, dude, do you remember where
Of course, I remember everything about it.
Yeah.
And I remember in 2008, there was a kid from my area that passed, yeah.
Kinsellers, yeah.
And that was where my first job was, next door to where it happened. And I see that, man, and I was like, wow. And back at 16, you don't value the life like you do when you get older. It's like someone died on the roads, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's quite sad to say that you actually think like that. You
That's
don't think
right.
of how it's affected people. But I'm not going to be the guy that's going to go out there preaching to people saying, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. But imagine this. You see England. I realised a few months ago how small England was. You see everything I've done? It's nothing. Because we're an island. See, when you start doing business in China, 1.6 billion people, and you start doing stuff in America, I realised at 28, look, this is a warm-up here. What is this? So imagine how it must feel being stuck in your postcode. That's what you're giving yourself.
That's
That's what
right.
you're giving yourself. That's what you're restricting yourself to. And I'm not, listen, I'm not the guy that's going to sit here and say, like, I'm not going to preach to no one.
Yeah.
You have to find your own path. But I have seen the misery, like, I've seen yours through, I feel it, bruv.
Yeah,
You know
bro.
I do.
Trust
We've got
me, I
people
know.
around us, like, we've got people around us that have been through a lot of the same things.
Yeah, that's right.
And I lost a lot of cousins in Ireland and things like that. And I see the misery firsthand.
Yeah, bro.
And it's devastating, isn't it?
Trust me, King.
When you look at it, and I feel old saying it, but don't get me twisted. I walked past the areas that happened in 2008. I see the aftermath of that.
That's right,
I went
King.
on the march in 2008 for that.
Really?
And I don't feel like I valued it then and really took it in of what
Gotcha.
had happened. Because I was young, innit?
Yeah, it's
like,
just where you are.
You know, it's just a thing like, oh, someone died on the road. Like, what do you mean someone died on the roads?
Yeah.
Like, how can you even speak like that? How can you actually take that into consideration? It's mad.
Yeah.
How much devastation things like that have caused.
Become normal.
It's just normal. It's
normalised.
normal. And it's London life, innit? Which is the bad thing. And I've spent a lot of time in Manchester, and it's just the same in them sort of places, yeah?
Can you imagine how much PTSD's going on with these youths?
That's what I'm saying. It's normalised, yeah? And I don't feel like there's no one saying how small London is, man.
Yeah, I feel you.
What there is to be seen, I have
to be
seen,
seen.
mate, I have seen the world. I didn't travel
Yeah.
till I was older, yeah? But I feel when I land at Heathrow, yeah? And I look at London, as much as I love London, it's quite a negative environment, yeah? And it's such a small place.
Yeah.
It's such a small place. So if I feel trapped being in England at the minute, imagine how trapped you can feel if you get stuck on the estate that you come from.
That's right, my brother.
Where are we going with this?
And that's a mindset. Imagine a mindset holds you trapped.
Of course
like
it does.
a prisoner.
Of course it does. And we know people like it.
Yes, my
I know.
brother.
I'm not slating it because I've got people who do anything for me. I don't need to mention who are there. I've got family members who still live in the same place in Hackney they was born in.
Yeah, yeah,
And they're happy and we'll love each other.
yeah.
But
But
it's a restriction, isn't it?
is.
I don't want to feel restricted. I'm not here. I want to spread what I've got.
It's just down to us what we want in life.
What do you want in
can have
life?
it.
Yeah.
I remember telling my son, take that paper. You can write on that anything what you want to achieve, anything what you want to experience.
Yeah.
You have the power to do that. And it's unfortunate some other guy had a knife and pushed it in him, so he didn't realise it.
It really hit home what happened to your son. And I remember the picture. It was embedded in me for a long time, man. I actually remember when I see it on the news to the day. And that sort of, not at the time, it done something for me, not just that sort of era when it started being a bit normalised. Do you remember, like 2006 to 2010 is when
that's when it started just
hearing
ripping
about all the
off
stabbings and that.
mad.
Because before I didn't feel like I heard about it that much. A few things happened, but not really like that.
Not on that rate.
Yeah, but I feel like I took that and it scared me, man. It made me petrified of like. He played for Crystal Palace, didn't he?
Queen's Park Rangers.
Queen's Park Rangers. And I remember the football kit and all that. I was thinking, how can that happen to him when we're the ones running around causing madness and we've been lucky to not see that?
Yeah.
I don't feel like people look at it like that no more.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
No, they
It's
don't.
scary, man.
Yeah, and youths obviously have no idea that picking up a knife, picking up your phone, like, you can't. How do you even conceive that thought that when you pick up this sharp object, and it's not like out the kitchen. Now youths are. I saw a clip the other day that someone put on with a youth pulling out a borer. It was like my arm. It was like my arm, bruv. It was like it was longer than his leg. It was just a little youth. That's how small the youth was.
And when I was younger, I had an experience of something, but I'm not going to talk about it.
Yeah.
Something happened to me, yeah? And I see the flashing light off the back of it, yeah? And that for me is just, I don't want part of that life. I didn't want that. I would rather have gone and moved to a farm, man, and worked on a farm than having to leave my door and seeing that happen.
That's right.
And I just don't see where it's going.
I don't think young people realise that the world that they're living in is the world that they're bringing in for their own children.
Exactly. Even I'm starting to have different thoughts. Do I want to be in England?
I got you.
I probably won't live here forever, to be fair,
Got you.
because it's crazy here, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's crazy, and I've seen a lot of the world, man.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of the world. I've been to some rough places, like really bad places, and I still like England's just mad.
Yeah.
How small it is.
How small it is.
Like, I've been to the Bronx. I've been to all them places. Like I've met guys there.
Yeah.
And like even London's, I think, is more ruthless, man.
I tell you, man.
But it's so much opportunity here. So
Pure, and they complain that there's not much.
and you know what? Without, I'm not political, and I'm
Yeah.
not going to be political.
Yeah.
More could be done,
Yeah.
in my opinion. Yeah.
The system
system
needs to change.
And my cousin, who sadly we lost last year,
Yeah.
was actually on the
Sorry
road to
to
doing
hear
that.
that, man.
He was on the road to doing
Yeah.
that, and he had a. He basically used to go into prisons and do a rehabilitation scheme
youths, yeah.
and take reoffenders out and
Excellent.
stop them from reoffending.
Yeah.
That was what he used to do.
Yeah.
And right, he transformed some lives,
No
man.
doubt, bro.
And like to see what he done, and he died young, man. He was stolen from us. Personally, I think he was one of them ones when someone's too good to be on earth. You know what I'm saying?
Man, it's beautiful.
But he inspired a lot of people, man.
Yeah.
And he went into every prison in the UK and he took them out when they come out. He picked them up, he got them a haircut,
Yeah.
opened them a bank account, got them down the council.
Sounds like the Kyan Prince Foundation, bro.
Exactly
Just
what I'm
being
saying.
real,
Just
meeting
being real
your
and doing it,
needs.
Yeah. And it wasn't until he passed away that I put on social media and I actually got the response of what he actually done. Because it was mad. Because
You didn't realise.
me, him and Marv was having dinner once.
Yeah, man.
And they was talking about all the stuff that they were doing.
Yeah.
And it
Well,
didn't
mate,
actually touch on me until he passed away, until I see it, how much he's actually done, man. So I feel like there is light there for people. It feels like it ain't going anywhere, innit?
Yeah, bro, I'm telling you.
It's
like,
a madness.
I didn't realise how impactful my son was.
Yeah, no,
when he
very
was alive.
much.
I heard so many stories about Kyan Prince breaking up fights, helping a youth that had just come over the country, didn't have no friends, didn't have no one, was just standing there and be like, Kyan, so what are you doing here, man? Like, we just standing up on your own. Like, oh, I got no friends. I just come over with me. Yeah, this is, introduce him to everyone. It's like, yeah, now you know everyone. Come and join our game. Bam, changed his world. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I remember some little white boy, he was like in year 7, was breaking down by Kyan's flowers outside the school. I was just intrigued, like even I was broken. I was intrigued by this little broken kid. And I thought 15-year-olds don't, year 11s, 10s don't really mess around with year 7s really. So, you know, so I asked him, I said, what's, you know, are you just here because every year, you know, lost a kid and you know him at your school? He was like, no. He said he used to protect me.
Madness.
And people used to like pick on me. He used to stop them. And that was, he was broken because to him, his protector, the guy that he really, you know, looked up to was gone and got killed. So
Yeah, no, it's mad.
yeah, it's painful, man.
It is painful.
you know, we can affect
I can't
people's
imagine.
lives in such a awesome way by just doing an act of kindness and treating them good, or we can affect them in a traumatic way where it changes their life. And I think it's down to young people, older people, to look at how do I want to affect lives like you have, bruv. You've looked at yourself, you've looked at your actions, you've been blessed by your missus, like the way that she's impacted your life. People have impacted our lives, and even when they do it in a negative way, I believe you can still use the negative and turn it around. And that's why I've done what I've done, Tommy, because I'm trying to show people we ain't got no excuse. We don't have the authority to hurt and kill others. So let's try and make good out of it. Leave footprints. Leave those look at the footprints you've left, bro. Like right now for me, we need more young guys talking about marriage, more young guys talking about respect and loving their missus, not bitches and hoes and all of that crap. Like, bro, if you're gonna put women down, but what's crazy, women love it.
Yeah, they love it, yeah.
They love it.
They love
They
it.
take it up, they're calling each other bitches. And like, it's crazy, bruv. Like, and we can't even see the insanity in that way of thinking, not realizing the power of our thinking, the power of our words can actually diminish us, the quality of our lives, or it can increase the value like the stock markets.
You know what I've done? You know what I've done? And I've done it around 2 years ago. You know, on social media, I followed a lot of pages that used to put a lot of madness up and things like that. And I unfollowed all of it because I couldn't actually cope looking at some of it, man.
I hear you.
Some of it, like, I remember I was away I was away. I went to LA for a little while.
Yeah.
Georgia, and just sitting there, and I flew to Mexico, and I was there for months. Scrolling through my phone, and I was seeing some madness what was going on in London, and I was like, George, I don't think I can go back to this, you know. I'm actually getting really deep in seeing this. I need to stop seeing this, man. I don't think humans are supposed to see it.
I hear you.
You know what I'm saying?
Imagine youths are on this.
That's what I'm saying, but like the videos from especially places where we come from, I was seeing it. And I was like, it's affecting me, man. I can't look at this. I'm scared to go back to my own area.
Yeah,
I ain't scared of no one. Like, I ain't got no problems. I ain't got no disrespect of anyone. But I remember looking at that negativity and it sort of brushing on me. And I ain't got that bone in my body where I feel negative, but I was seeing it all and I was like, fuck. I've got to unfollow all these pages. I can't look at this. This is bad, man. We shouldn't be looking at this. If something crime comes on the TV and Georgia's watching it, I'll turn it off. I don't let her watch none of that.
Do you know, bro, this is so
I don't let her watch
awesome.
none of that because we're not supposed to see that as humans.
Bro,
you know what we're supposed to do? Do you know what we're actually supposed to do as humans?
Yeah.
We're supposed to meditate.
Yeah.
We're supposed to eat good food.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We're supposed to do things that bring us closer to like the earth.
Yes.
Yeah?
To each other.
I'm not being a hippie.
Yeah.
But put it this way, and this is how I learned it, and it all goes back to the mindset. And it goes back to, and I'm going off track a little bit, is seeing them negative videos, what it can do to your head. Yeah. It normalises things, don't it? You think, oh, it's normal, like, watching a video of someone getting stabbed, like, how's that normal, bro?
That's right.
How's that normal to you to watch that?
Yeah.
Are you taking into consideration what's going on there? And then I started looking into more things, and then looking into what makes me feel good. And one of the things that made me always feel shit was alcohol. Yeah, alcohol. And the other thing was smoking, and then anything else, never made you feel good. And in my eyes, when I was doing them sort of things, it like felt like it brought me down, And I'm gonna go mad here. I know you'll feel what I'm saying.
I'm on this.
But I'm going round in a circle here, I personally feel like you shouldn't look at that sort of thing. You shouldn't be looking at them sort of madnesses. It's like the devil, man. Cocaine, the devil, mate.
Yeah, it's a spirit.
Brings you down.
Yeah.
It gives you psychosis.
That's it.
It gives you paranoia. It makes you not trust people.
Yeah, been there.
You do madnesses on it. Yeah.
In the system.
Alcohol gives you a hangover.
Yeah.
It makes you
quite depressed as well when you come down off it as well.
Red wine makes you argumentative, like I've seen it. I've seen my dad growing up, when he had a red wine, he'd start getting argumentative. And when I looked at all that, I was like, hold on, so I don't want to take anything that ain't really natural, So the cigarettes, get rid of them. The vape, I started getting addicted to the vape because I'm an addict, If I drink, I'll drink a bottle of vodka. If I smoke, I'll smoke 20 fags. If I vape, I'm addicted. I'm an addict. That's just what I am. I've got an addictive personality. Once I start scrolling on Instagram and looking at things, I can't stop looking at it. So it took me a lot of time to sit there and like evaluate what made me feel good and what made me feel bad. And them videos was in there, I was like, we shouldn't look at that stuff. Let's look at something of someone coming home and surprising their daughter and their daughter jumping up and the natural highs in life that I started looking at made me feel good.
Beautiful.
And you know the other thing that made me feel good? Drinking water. And it sounds mad, I drink 4 or 5 litres of water a day,
Loving it.
And another thing was, I never ate vegetables growing up. I wouldn't be told, I can't be told to do anything. You can't tell me to do nothing, I'll rebel, Never ever ate vegetables. I used to get quite ill, quite a lot. Like I get colds, and I used to, every time I stopped working over Christmas, I'd get a throat infection, and I'd be really ill. And when it all stopped for me was I went out and had a drink, had done a mad turnout, it was crazy, Come home, hated the world, man. Hated everyone in the world and all that. And I was like, fuck this, man. I need to go to a retreat or something. And I went to a juice retreat where I lived off juice for 7 days.
Wow.
And the guy there, Jason Val, went to me, you can have all the nutrients you need off this one juice. And I lived off this juice for a week. And what it done for me, Mark, by drinking this juice, was like, brought me down to like some earth, bruv, it sounds mad unless you've been there,
Keep it real, I've been there.
Unless you've been there, I can't explain it, yeah?
Been there, bro.
But 1 minute I'm drinking tequila, yeah, and I'm puffing fags. Next minute, yeah, I've got a turmeric shot and a ginger shot and I'm going for a hike, yeah? With like some 8-year-old man.
Mad energy.
Yeah, and then me and him are bopping up this hill and I'm like, what do you do? He's like, I own a telecom company. And I was like, well, nice watch. He was like, yeah, Saudi Prince gave it to me when I went over and done their telecom. I'm like, whoa. And I was like, are you hungry? And he's like, no, man, I do this once a year to refresh and all that cleanse.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, cool, let me try out with y'all. And I'd done this week's detox. I come home and I carried it on. And it was the first time that I had any nutrients like that in my body. And I felt like it really brought me like a really different source of energy. So every morning I drink a juice religiously. I will not move, unless I drink this juice. So I have ginger, turmeric, celery, lettuce, all the madness is in this one juice. You couldn't eat the amount of juice that I drink. So it's in that, but it's all the goodness. I have that and a coffee every morning. And I got into a routine of doing it, and it just feels like it put me straight on a positive. Do you know what I mean?
Clears your mind.
It clears me out. I can't really eat junk food like McDonald's because I feel like it eats away at me and things like that.
So can you imagine what you're consuming in your body has an effect on your mind
100%.
and your performance.
100%.
So if these youths are craving for McDonald's, if we got grown-ups feeding their youths with the burgers and the kids aren't eating fruits, they aren't eating vegetables, what kind of mindset does that develop in you? What kind of body and energy levels do you have?
Well, think about
then you go home and you're sitting by your games, you're sitting by your phone, your head's down. Can you see how the society is the way they are?
What food did we grow up eating? Chicken shops. Chicken, yeah? Tottenham.
Well, I know where I didn't even see a flipping takeaway until I was till I ran away from home at 15.
So when we was going up,
I just did not eat it.
after school, you go down the hill, Archway, Smoky Hills, a chicken shop, Weekends, Tottenham, go to Chicken, Best chicken shop in London.
Yeah, it still is, Tottenham
Best chicken shop in London, man.
Yeah, that's my guy.
But it's still that grease and things like that. It was just normalised, and I boxed from young. And I boxed from, my dad dropped me off at a boxing gym when I was about 6 and just said, I'll come back and get you. Cranham Manor in Hoxton. I remember to the day of him doing it, And
I know Cranham
Manor. And I boxed there and I was with Ian Napper and all that things from Hackney.
Oh
boxing.
my
But I was
God.
a kid and Napper and that used
European
to just punch me about.
British champ, Commonwealth champ.
And going there, I was like, I'll do that. And then my diet, I felt like, until a few years ago, was so bad of me eating all of this madness, But soon the last few years when I stopped smoking, started drinking all this juice, I become fit. But all my boxing days I got punched the fuck out of because I weren't fit enough.
I hear you.
Used to drink Orange Lucasades and all that sort of stuff. But now I've got like, I drink the juice and I'm positive, I've got a positive mindset.
Positive mindset.
You know what I'm saying, though?
That's it, that's
So it does come down to that as well.
The food we're eating, we know that it affects the physical and the mental. What affects our emotions, what affects our mental as well is what we see. You touched on it, bruv. You nailed it. We take for granted the diet that we feed our eyes, the windows to the soul. We take it for granted. We think it's all right for our kids to be watching a whole heap of garbage of takeaway, meant food for the eyes, going through the sex, the violence. We're not even trying to protect our children from it anymore because we give them the tablets, we give them the phones. So they got access to internet. What a powerful world to have access to, but you have to monitor it. You can't leave your youth, a 6-year-old youth, with a new Christmas present and a tablet, and they've got access to the internet.
I've got the answer to it. So, 13, I was the 271 bus that goes from Archway to Hoxton. And I'm on the back of the bus. My brother was in an older year. And I didn't realise how sheltered my life was, until that day. And I can remember it to this day. It was the worst thing I've ever seen. And it really, really, really badly affected me. And it was the time of this, and it was two things, So it was one little instance that happened to me. Forget kids getting on the bus and CS gassing the bus and trying to rob everyone. That was nothing. That's day-to-day life.
Yeah.
I see something that day that really, really fucked my head up, yeah? And it was the time of Crazy Frog was around. Do you remember that little frog that used to make the motorbike noise and all that? Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
And I'll see that. I remember that. I remember seeing that and seeing the laughter and the happiness it gave me as a kid.
Yeah.
To them swiping to the next video, it was a guy getting beheaded.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah?
Was it with the short handled nut?
Yeah. I can't talk about it.
Bruv, look,
Remember
that
that?
still
Yeah,
scarred me till I remember it
that,
straight away.
Remember that? And I remember, I can't even remember the phone it was on. It was that square Nokia phone,
Yeah. I was gonna say Nokia.
And I got showed that video, yeah? And that, to this day, still affects me.
Wow, man.
Yeah? That still affects me.
Trust
and
me.
that was 15 years ago, Prince, yeah?
Yeah, bro.
And I remember that was the day, like, all that innocence that I think, I see that.
Yeah.
And that really fucked me up, yeah? And I remember going home and telling my mum, and my brother was with me, and my brother was a little bit more raggo than me, but he was like, that was bad what we just see there, we shouldn't have really watched it, should we? I remember we walked through Marquis Estate, talking about it, and the only reason I'm bringing this up is that fucked me, you know, seeing that, and I feel like, why did that guy show me that, man? I should never have seen that. But now you go on social media and that's normal.
Normal.
That's normal. How is that normal? How is that normal? Like the closest we got to seeing that as kids is The Simpsons. You know when the guy used to drive the car and had the trip while he used to cut his head off?
Yeah.
That was the closest
Michael
we
Jackson's
seen to it.
Thriller, they were looking to ban it. And that was just
Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
just some demon looking messed up artists.
That resonated on me, man, because I still think back at that day now. I was just a kid, like, and I'd see that, and you shouldn't be looking at that.
Yeah, bro.
And where did that put us at that age? Why should you see that? You should never see that at any point in your lifetime.
Facts.
And I see it that day 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Was that 15 years ago or 10 years ago? However long it was, I filmed old saying it, yeah? Seeing that video really affected me.
Yeah,
and
bro.
I always think about that when I see stuff on social media, that one day I see that.
That's beautiful that it actually
You know what I'm
really
saying?
affected you and you
It really
remember.
affected me.
'Cause
And,
I
and do you know what that
remember.
done for me as well, Prince? My reaction to that video of how bad it made me feel told me I could never be on the roads. I could never be a gang member. I could never be violent towards someone.
Okay.
I had to be a nice person.
Shall I tell you when
I'm not built for that life.
Shall I tell you when I realised
Go on.
is when we thought this guy was trying to stitch me up to get robbed and whatever, and we got him before he got us, and we took him down in the basement and basically just pummeled him, But then one of the guys said, get the bicarbs, get the bicarbonate of soda and let him sniff it all up. So he put down a whole heap on the table. And when the guy saw that, the way he cried and begged for his life.
No, it's mad.
Because he knew if he sniffed it up in his brain, bruv, all that bicarbonate of soda, that could have done some serious damage.
And how did
to
you
him,
feel after that?
Bro, the way he begged for his life, I actually felt it.
Yeah, exactly.
I felt his fear.
Yeah.
I felt, forget the beats that he got, it was that was going to happen. Yeah. And I allowed it. I put a stop to it. But I knew then, like, nah, P, you actually got a heart for people.
Exactly.
And you're supposed to have a
And
heart
you're
for
supposed
people.
to. And you're supposed to.
You're supposed to.
Georgia's taught me a lot of that. Georgia's taught me a lot of that. My guy there, sitting there as, like, who I can't remember at me.
Yeah.
Them sort of things, there's so many good people out there, man. It's just the people you have it with, innit?
The people that you got around
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
When they say, show me your friends, I'll show you your future.
There you go. My mum used to say,
true.
show me your friends, I'll tell you who you are.
Exactly. And
And I
exactly
said,
right.
what are you on about?
But yeah, that
I didn't get it.
I've never ever thought back, that deep into that time when I was 13, and seeing
That's heavy.
that sort of moulded me, I think.
That's heavy.
Because I felt sick seeing it.
Yeah.
I felt so many emotions about what I just see.
Yeah.
I felt of his family, so I knew I
That's
had a
it.
heart, and I hated the guy that just showed me it.
I hear you.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's about knowing yourself.
Got her, innit?
How come all of a sudden all these youths be bad boys? All these youths want to be carrying Rambo knives, and so many of them are trying to be the bad man and be at the top of the food chain. You haven't got it in you because you're not supposed to have that in you to want to carry that and hurt someone.
No, it's mad.
But let's end on a beautiful note. let's end at your little baby. Have you got like thoughts about you as a dad? Because many young men don't even think about who they want to become as a dad, their plans for their beautiful little baby coming, you know, what they want to teach them and the kind of person they need to be as an example.
All of it. I wanna teach the kid things, yeah, that I know now, and I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
You know, like, I'm not got nothing against it. I'll probably do it.
Yeah.
You know, like giving the kid an iPad and watching like the Peppa Pig and things like that. I don't really want to do any of that stuff.
Okay.
I want to try and be as hands-on as I can, and that's what I want to do with my life now, innit?
And let them just learn
It's the
from
next
being
journey,
out in
innit? It's like
nature
watching
and-
something grow. Like I can't wait for it, and I'm gonna do everything I can, man. I want to try and not be as business orientated and give more of my life to home, and that's what I'm gonna do now. I feel like that's what I need. It's my next chapter.
Beautiful.
I've achieved so much, man. I've achieved so much. There's nothing.
28.
I ain't set out to do something and not achieved it.
Yeah,
Because if I want it, I'll take it.
that's right, bro.
And there's certain things going on now, and you get to the point where I don't like saying it, but you think, I've got so much good stuff going on. Is this right? Is it going to end? But you can't do that.
Can't.
You got to say thank you. And thanks is what I've been asking for. I've been dreaming for this.
Yeah.
And I'm blessed to have Georgia. I'm blessed to be able to give my baby a good start to life.
Yeah.
And I'm blessed that my mum and dad have got a grandchild they're going to be able to play with. And we're filming our own show, man. Like, we've got our own TV show, Prince.
Beautiful, bro. Beautiful.
How is that?
Great family.
Yeah, it's
Little
good.
one on
I'm
the way.
blessed.
Do you
I'm
know what I'm saying,
blessed.
bro?
I'm blessed. And I'll keep doing things, and I'll keep helping other people along the way.
Beautiful.
And I don't want any thank yous for anything I'm doing. I'm doing it because I want to do it.
You want to do it.
And I feel like I need to.
That's beautiful.
And that's how I'm
man.
going to leave it. So
excellent,
I'll always go and put myself out for you, Prince, man. If there's anything I can do, brother, you've got to keep inspiring, man. Keep
time.
going.
Yeah, man.
Definitely.
Honor, brother. Honor.
It was good.
I'm going to leave you with the last word, brother. Is there anything you want to say before you go, brother?
I like that saying about New York being in front of LA, but they're not behind or something like that. Have you ever seen it?
I've never
It's
seen
basically about running your own race
Yeah.
and not making any drastic decisions based on seeing what other people have achieved.
Yeah.
Trust your timing.
Beautiful.
It's all possible. It's all possible. You've got to trust the timing to do it.
Do you know what, bro? I love that.
You have to.
Yeah.
You have to go out and you have to do it at your own pace and trust your timings. I say it to my guys that work alongside me. Like, as much as I'm calm now, I'm not calm.
Yeah.
And I shout and I scream, fucking stay in your lane, trust your timing. If you do it this way, you do it that way. And it's just, if you're on a mission to go and do something, if you don't give up, you can 100% get it.
Oh, man.
And I think I'm the living proof of that.
Excellent.
And I'll take it further and I'll keep showing you in it. Just keep following it. But we're going to above and beyond. So just keep watching in it.
I've got a feeling there's a whole lot more coming.
If only
and
you
this
knew,
is
Prince.
only just the
If only
beginning,
you knew,
bro.
Prince, we've got things going on which you could only dream about. And we're taking it as it comes. And this time on, we're going to take it and we're going to enjoy it as a team. And I'm just going to enjoy it this time.
Beautiful. Well, our Prince production team's going to be with you all the way,
100%
bro.
the whole way, brother.
Anything
Thanks
we
for
can
having me
do
today. It was
together.
great, man.
Excellent,
Thank you,
my
my brother.
man. Listen, this is the very inspirational Tommy Mallet on the Dr. Prince Show. We'll see you on the next episode. Hope you enjoyed yourself.
Big up Dr. Prince, yeah?
Bruh.
Big up Dr. Prince. Thank you very much,
Excellent, bro. Trust me.